SAG AFTRA, the Screen Actors Guild, is upset that it's not getting a cut of Fortnite's profits. Why? Because they did a thing that has absolutely nothing to do with SAG AFTRA whatsoever. I'm not even joking. They are upset about the AI Darth Vader voice in Fortnite. A voice that they have no rights to, that they don't even claim to have any rights to, but you see, they represent other people who aren't James Earl Jones, who have played Darth Vader's iconic rhythm and tone in other video games, unrelated to Fortnite. And therefore, clearly, they should have been consulted. This is literally the myth of consensual sex right here. Where you have Fortnite and James Earl Jones going, yeah, let's do this. Oh, well, Disney owns the voice these days anyways. And then SAG AFTRA coming in going, hold on, I don't consent to this. And hey, to be fair, as a union, they are of course well accustomed to feeling entitled to receiving something in return for absolutely nothing. But even by pure economic vampire standards, this really is taking it to a brand new level. So, in case you're a little bit confused what's going on here, James Earl Jones, the iconic voice of Darth Vader, of course, who tragically passed away a few years ago, signed over the right to his voice in the, effect of being Darth Vader to Disney. So Disney now owns the rights to make Darth Vader's voice as an AI-generated construct and use it, in essence, however they wish. Fortnite then created an AI-powered version of Darth Vader, which moved on to, well, say a lot of racial slurs, which everyone had a lot of fun with. And obviously Fortnite needed to ruin all of that because, and I love this title, sure, Darth Vader is a bad guy, but not like this. Yes, no, he may have encouraged and partaken in the wholesale genocide of entire planetary populations. But he would never say a racial slur. God damn it. Our modern standards. Genocide! Ah, mild boo-boo. Spick. You're banned forever from the internet. God help me. Anyways, so to put it quite clearly here, Fortnite has the right to do this, and this isn't an actor in any way. In fact, it couldn't be an actor, which only makes SAG AFTRA's claim here even more ridiculous. So, they say, we celebrate the right of our members and their estates controlled the use of their digital replicas, and welcome the use of the new technology to allow new generations to share in the enjoyment of those legacies and renowned roles. They don't. They've been fighting tooth and nail against the application of AI within movie making, etc. Even having negotiated forth an agreement stating that people who use their talents cannot use AI for various roles, even if they aren't actually directly connected to it in any way. However, we must protect our right to bargain terms and conditions around uses of voices that replace the work of our members, including those who previously did the work of matching Darth Vader's iconic rhythm and tone in video games. So again, I'm not kidding here. SAG AFTRA's position is, we've represented some other people who don't have anything to do with this, and therefore we deserve a say? Not to mention as well, the AI does not replace the work of any Screen Actors Guild's members, for the simple reason that they couldn't have done it. Again, this is an AI that follows you around and converses with you live, continuously. The only way you could have theoretically done this is if you lined up about 2,000-3,000 voice actors with lines to half a dozen players and constantly pretending to have conversations with them. There is literally no way that the Screen Actors Guild could have replaced this AI that is voiced by James Earl Jones here. It simply wouldn't be possible. But again, a union's prerogative is to take something for nothing. Fortnite's signature company, Llama Production, choose to replace the work of human performers, again they simply couldn't have done it, with AI technology. Unfortunately, they did so without providing any notice of their intent to do this, and without bargaining with us over the appropriate terms. As such, we have filed an unfair labor practice charge with the NLRB against Llama Production. Unfair labor practice charge. They have nothing to do with this. There is no way that their labor could ever have replicated what the AI is doing, and they're still complaining. And if anything, this is a perfect example of how goddamn obsolete these people are becoming, and the fact that it's scaring the shit out of them. Understandably so, as they look at this and go, oh boy, we're like a decade away from becoming utterly irrelevant, aren't we? Yes, you are. And this is actually a genuine danger with the uses of AI in acting roles. We will eventually arrive, and sooner rather than later in my opinion anyways, at a point where nobody's going to give a new actor a shot, because you can have Leonardo DiCaprio act out your role. You can have James Earl Jones voice your characters. You can have Harrison Ford in his prime be in your action movie. Why on God's good earth would you ever try to nurture new talent, never mind attempting to find that talent in the first place, when you could simply just subscribe to a website, to an AI service, and get every single top-line actor ever onto your project? That is a genuine danger, but there's nothing SAG AFTRA can do about it, right? Even assuming that let's assume that they could have created an AI voice alternative, right? Where they read off the lines using their members. Even then, you'd basically have to record the entirety of the English language, and then find some way to piece it all together on the fly, which would still have required AI. It's idiotic. Their services are simply worthless in this particular scenario, and yet still they feel entitled to be consulted, to have their opinion considered. This is the desperate lashing out action of an entity that knows it's arriving at the end of its lifespan, and frankly, an entity that should have died out for ages already. The entire purpose of SAG AFTRA as it is right now is to actively damage the industry in which they work by adding on additional requirements. Like, one of the things that came out of the recent negotiations, for example, was that writing rooms required multiple writers. So even if you've got one guy who knows the television show you're making in and out, and who's written every episode, well, he's going to need to have two other people there who will just sit and stare awkwardly at him. Or worse still, who will go, I think I've got a better idea than you. Let's introduce pride into the Middle Earth, or whatever else we're writing. This is the reason why so many modern-day TV shows feel like they've been written by committee, because a lot of them literally have been written by committee. And the only reason why nonsense like this is created is for SAG AFTRA to forcibly create work for people who otherwise simply wouldn't have gotten it. It's an extortion racket, and it is burning through what little good faith it has and goodwill it has within the industry, even right now. As, once more, why would you ever deal with these people ever again if you can have an AI do the job for you? And sure, there's gonna be some teething issues, as demonstrated by this version of Darth Vader. And the best way to deal with this, by the way, is to just ignore it. You are never going to be able to censor the AI fully. You are never going to predict every situation, every sentence, every curse word, even as the internet is actively developing new slangs and slurs. You will never prevent it. All you need to do is put up the AI companion and a little bit of a note there, terms of service, saying, okay, by agreeing to this, you hold us free of any responsibility. You understand that you will be interacting with an artificial intelligence that will say shit that we could never even begin to predict. So, go wild. That's the solution to this. To essentially just go, yeah, we don't have any responsibility for this because we literally can't predict what it's going to do. That's kind of part of the charm. SAG AFTRA cannot die soon enough, and this will hurry that demise, so I, for one, I'm all for it. Let's check in about who we haven't asked consent for, just so we know who to ignore. Until next time, I've been Arch. Thank you all very much for watching, and I do hope to see you all again soon. Till then, have a good day.